In your notebook, write today's date 7.3, solve linear systems by adding or subtracting. So this is also called the elimination method. Now copy down question number 8. You are given two equations and you need to solve and find the solution for x and y. So what I am trying to do is I am trying to get rid of the 5y. So if I look at negative 5y on the first equation, and if I look at positive 5y on the second equation, they look like they both can cancel each other. So I'm going to cancel the 5y's. So put a line, and now if you look at negative 5y, positive 5y, they both cancel. So all I'm doing is just combining negative 3x and negative 4x. Negative 3x combines with negative 4x to give you negative 7x. And on the right side, negative 7 combines with 14 to give you positive 7. So now you have your one-step equation. Divide by negative 7, divide by negative 7 on both sides, cancel. You get x equals negative 1. So once you get x equals to negative 1, now you need to find y. You got an option of using the first equation or the second equation. It doesn't matter whether you use first or second, the answer will still be the same. So now I'm going to take my x equals negative 1 and I'm going to substitute in my first equation. So use equation number 1. Like I said, it doesn't matter whether you use the first or the second. So minus 3x minus 5y equals negative 7. So x is negative 1. So I'm substituting my x as negative 1, open close parenthesis, minus 5y equals negative 7. Negative 3 multiplies negative 1 to give you positive 3, minus 5y equals negative 7, minus 3, line, cancel. Minus 5y equals minus 10. Divide by negative 5 on both sides. Cancel. You get y equals 2. So the solution in this case is going to look like negative 1, comma 2. And that is the answer. Now this is your domain. And this is your range. Your x value is your domain. Your y value is your range. Copy this question. Pause the video. Copy this question. So this is my equation number 1. This is my equation number 2. So now when I look at these two equations, I see 4x and 4x. So they look like they can cancel each out. So I'm going to try to cancel the 4x. But when I try to cancel them, one of them has to be positive, one of them has to be negative. In this case, both the equations are giving me as positive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the equation. I'm going to highlight my second equation. And in that equation, I'm going to change the signs all across. I'm going to change this sign to be as a negative. I'm going to change this sign to be as a negative. And I'm going to change this sign to be as a positive. So changing the signs for the 4x, 3y, and the 9. So now, after I'm done changing the signs, now I can cancel them. 4x and negative 4x cancels out. So this is no longer there. So negative 9y, negative 3y combines to give you negative 12y. Negative 21, positive 9 combines to give you negative 12. Divide by negative 12 on both sides. Cancel. You get y equals 1. So once you get y equals 1, now we have an option. You can either go back to the first equation or the second equation. It really doesn't matter. So in this case, let's use equation number 1. So which is 4x minus 9y equals negative 21. So 4x minus 9, and replace your y, replace this y by 1. Equals negative 21. 4x minus 9 times 1 is 9. This is your two-step equation, plus 9 on both sides. So you get 4x equals negative 12. Divide by 4 on both sides. You get x equals negative 3. So once you get x equals 3, now the solution is going to look like, the solution is always x comma y. The first one is your x, the second one is your y. So it's going to be negative 3 comma 1. You have to be really cautious by sticking the x value first and the y value second. So your domain in this case is negative 3, your range is 1. Now solve the linear system using the elimination. Pause the video, copy this question. Now this question is a little tricky. You get 2x minus y equals 32, which is the first equation, and you get y minus 5x equals 13. In order to cancel using elimination method, the x's must go one below the other, the y's must go one below the other, the numbers should be on the other side of the equal sign, one below the other. So the first equation is fine, so I'm going to leave it as it is, 2x minus y equals 32. My second equation, my x and my y are switching places. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unswitch them. So I'm going to write minus 5x and take this as positive y. So switch the places using your commutative property equals 13. So just switching these two places around. So that way the 5x is under the x and the y is under the y. Now I'm going to look at these two equations and I'm going to cancel my y's. Negative y, positive y. They both look like they can cancel out. So I'm going to cancel these two. Now combine 2x and minus 5x to give you minus 3x. And combine 32 and 13 to give you 45. Divide by negative 3 on both sides. X equals negative 15. So once you get x equals 15, half the job is done. Now you can go back to one of these equations. So you can take either equation 1 or equation 2. You will still get the same answer. So let's go and take equation number 2. So I'm going to use y minus 5x equals 13 and y minus 5 times negative 15 equals 13. My x takes on negative 15. So I'm going to do y positive 5 times negative 15 is going to give me 75 equals 13. This is your one-step equation, minus 75 on both sides. Cancel. You get y equals negative 62. So once you get y equals negative 62, so the solution is going to look like, the solution is always x comma y. So in this case, it's going to be negative 15 comma negative 62. So this is your domain, which is negative 15, and this is your range, which is negative 62. Copy this question. This is the last question in 7.3. Copy this question, number 20. Now, if you look at the first equation, y and x are switching places, so I'm going to unswitch them. So I'm going to write minus 3x in the first, and this is positive 11y, so plus 11y equals 18. So I'm just switching these two places using my commutative property. Now if I look at my second equation, x is on one side of the equal sign, y is on the other side of the equal sign. I need to bring them all to the same side of the equal sign, so I'm going to do the opposite. So plus 16y plus 16y. So these two cancels out. So I'm just left with 33. And now I have minus 3x plus 16y equals 33. So I have minus 3x plus 16y equals 33. Because of the complexity of this question, I just double started. So please make sure that you are pausing the video, rewinding this segment, and rewatching this whole segment again until you understand this. And once you get this, now I'm going to put a line and I'm going to realize which ones I can cancel. So it looks like I can cancel the 3x. So 3x and 3x are the same. So it's so easy to cancel them. But the only tricky thing is this is negative and this is also negative. Keep in mind, one of them has to be positive and one of them has to be negative to cancel. So in my second equation, I'm going to change the signs all across. So I'm going to change the sign here to a positive. and I'm going to change this sign to a negative, and I'm going to change this sign to a negative. So now negative 3x and positive 3x cancels out. Positive 11y, negative 16y is going to give me negative 5y equals 18, and negative 33 is going to give me negative 15. Divide by negative 5, divide by negative 5. Cancel, you get y equals 3. So once you get y equals 3, then all you have to do is go back to one of those equations that was given to you. So let's use the equation number 1. So 11y minus 3x equals 18. 11 times 3 minus 3x equals 18. Now what's the way that I got the 3? Y takes on 3. So I'm just replacing my y by 3. So now I have 11 times 3, which is going to be 33 minus 3x equals 18. This is your two-step equation, minus 33 on both sides. Cancel, minus 3x equals negative 15. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3. Cancel, and you get x equals 5. So once you get x equals 5, now we can find the solution. So the solution in this case is always x comma y. X values comes first, so it's going to be 5 comma 3. So the x is 5 and the y is 3. Domain is 5, range is 3.